Yes, we are back to continue our series of discontinued items. First we did food, just in general, then you guys wanted cereal, and it seems like now you got a bit thirsty because now you want the top 10 discontinued soda pops we miss. My name is Danny Burke, and just to clear something up here, I know not everyone calls these drinks soda pops. Every country in the world seems to have a different name for them. I'm going to use soda for this video, but you guys should let me know in the comments what the name is for the kind of drinks we're talking about, where you're from. Either way, we missed them. In at number 10, we have Surge. Surge was first launched by the Coca-Cola Company in 1997 to directly compete with Pepsi's Mountain Dew. Now, it was hugely popular among kids, although I never got to try it myself, so I'm not exactly sure what it tasted like. People say though, it tasted a bit like Sprite, but less fizzy, if that's a taste. Imagine sugary citrus. It ended up being just as famous for its distinctive can design as the actual taste inside. For many fans of Splurge, the logo brings back fond memories of the 90s, drinking unnatural looking drinks that kept you up all night at your friend's sleepover. The reason it's not higher up on this list is because it was actually brought back in some areas of the US in 2015, but a lot of international fans of the drink are still left without it, and apparently the new one just does not taste the same. Next up at number 9 we have 7-Up Gold. If you put gold at the end of anything, it sounds better, doesn't it? Danny Burke Gold. There you go, just made myself sound better. 7-Up Gold came out in 1988 and was a bit less like a lemonade than the original and had a bit more spicy flavour to it, kind of like a ginger ale with some apple cinnamon kick. Many people who tried it seemed to really like it. The problem was it struggled to attract new customers who didn't actually know what it tasted like based on the name alone. I don't know about you guys, but I've not tasted too much gold in my life, not licked any gold bars. Coming in at number 8 now, we have Coca-Cola Black Cherry Vanilla. This drink name left no confusion about exactly what it tasted like. It was launched by Coca-Cola in January 2006 at a time when the company was phasing out vanilla Coke in North America. This left vanilla lovers craving for a fix, and so many people were happy to jump on the new bandwagon and try vanilla Coke with a black cherry twist. Now, it stood out among other soft drinks at the time as being made with real sugar and not corn syrup. Coke lovers loved it, but it only lasted a little over a year because the original vanilla Coke came back, and apparently the earth can't handle 2 vanilla flavored Coke drinks. Next up at number 7 now, we have the original New York Seltzer. Okay, this is a real old school soft drink, guys. The New York Seltzer was first released in 1981, and as you might expect from its name, it originated in New California. It was produced by father and son Alan and Randy Miller, which only added to its whole feel-good family vibe. The flavors range from vanilla cream soda to orange to raspberry, and they promised that every single bottle of seltzer was preservative free, which in the 1980s was like unheard of. Even babies weren't being born preservative free. Coming in at number 6 now, we have Mountain Dew Pitch Black. It was first released in October 2004 in the US and Canada and put a sour grape twist on the original Mountain Dew flavor. It was initially released as a limited edition Halloween flavor, but Mountain Dew drinkers loved it so much it kept popping up and being re-released every other year. These days it has been discontinued in a number of countries, but you can still find Pitch Black in Singapore, Malaysia, the Philippines, or if you're in the US, Maverick gas stations. Yeah, I have no idea how many Maverick gas stations there are, but that's where you can find it. Next up at number 5 we have Lifesavers Soda. For those of you guys who live outside of the US or Canada, Lifesavers are small circular bits of candy, kind of like fruit polos if you're from the UK, I guess. They've always been very popular, so in 1980 the company thought, hey, why don't we just turn them into a drink? For the first few years the drink did really well among Lifesavers fans who would use it to wash down a nice pack of Lifesavers, I guess. But by 1989 the drink had been discontinued due to poor sales. One critic said it ultimately failed because it gave consumers the impression they would actually be drinking liquid candy. Sounds a bit gross to me, but I also think that's kind of what drew some people in. Coming in at number 4 we have Super Mario Bros. Soda. If something can fit Mario's face on it, Nintendo will put Mario's face on it. Super Mario Soda was obviously a complete gimmick. Sales did okay, despite the soda not being too great apparently. This was obviously because of the Mario effect. Nintendo knew they could sell wood to a forest if it had Mario's face on it. The flavors were Mario Punch, Yoshi Apple, Luigi Berry, and Princess Toadstool Cherry. Presumably because Princess Peach Cherry might be a little bit confusing, but now it sounds like mushroom cherry flavor. Next up at number 3 we have Coca-Cola Black. Yes, that is the real spelling, we didn't mess that up. It was released in 2006 and was basically what would happen if you mix Coca-Cola with coffee. It was aimed at adults adults as the company tried to cut into the coffee market. Presumably they hoped that one day adults wouldn't start their days with a hot cup of coffee, they'd all be opening bottles of this stuff every single morning. Now there was a lot of hype around this drink when it came out, but it seems like people weren't quite ready to have their Coke and coffee mixed together, and the product was eventually discontinued in 2008. Alright, we are at the number 2 spot now, and we have Hi-C Ecto Cooler. In 1989 the world was still going Ghostbusters crazy after the release of Ghostbusters 2, and the fans wanted something to drink while they watched ghosts being busted. The response was Hi-C Ecto Cooler. It was a fruit drink that was a reworked version of Hi-C's Citrus Cooler. They changed citrus to ecto, which stands for ectoplasm, and bam, you got yourself a smash hit fruit drink. Amazingly, the drink did so well that it wasn't discontinued until 1997, a full 8 years after the movie. And finally, at the number 1 spot, we have the legendary Crystal Pepsi. This stuff is like folklore. Pepsi released a totally transparent version of Pepsi. It was similar to the original drink in taste, but was said to be a little bit lighter, more like a lemonade. But nobody cared about that when it was released in 1992. Everyone went crazy because it was see-through. Pepsi marketed it as a clear alternative to other colas. They basically tried to make out it was healthy for you when it clearly wasn't. It seems like people believed this at first because sales did very well, but eventually people got sick of their Pepsi looking like water and sales began to fall. These days you can mainly find Crystal Pepsi being drunk by YouTubers who open 25-year-old bottles of the stuff and then end up throwing up when they drink it because the drink has gone bad. What a lovely lasting memory for that product. And that is that, soda fans. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want discontinued videos to continue, then continue to let me know what you want down below. I do want to hear your suggestions. I kind of wanted to do discontinued 90s phrases, but apparently that might not be too popular. Bogus. My name is Danny Berg. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.